Hello. Okay. How's it going? Hello. Okay. So I think everything goes well, right? So I think before we start, I'll let you know something because like if you remember that last time, we implement the iframe, right? Oh wait, it's still working? Oh, okay. I thought it was. That's weird. Yeah, this is. I think this is because like I reverted. Or did I? Yeah, I reverted. I'm wondering why. Okay, good news. Anyway, uh, I think okay. I think there's a multiple reason. Multiple things to kind. Yeah, just I'm just trying to explain a little bit. So, the first thing is that I revert this thing. I revert this header change because of this issue. So previously I was adding a header to the docs on the Nuxt.com so that we can embed it in the iframe. So which it allows localhost 3000 to be able to be used to embed it. And because we use Stackbase, and Stackbase requires a header to say the embedder policy, adding a required code, which is a bit more restricted header because it's a bit like it's a bit it's a bit like too detailed. Well, that's because the Stackbase require the shared array buffer to work across the frame, which that's require the browser require the server to respond to this header in order to get it work. So this is required by Stackbase, and then the same is like because if we want to embed it in our site, and since our site has this header for Stackbase, and then it becomes a bit tricky, so we have to add it here. But while that's we added it here, it breaks the other thing on the Nuxt.com that's the videos from the from Cardinary no longer works. So so I reverted because this is only for development. And later, if we deploy this site to Nuxt.com, that means we could directly we are in the same domain, right? Same domain, same top level domain. No, it's just same domain. So we don't need to deal with that. And so I reverted. So I expect this to be failed. And because this is only for development, only for like localhost 3000, so I'm thinking that would be fine. And I find out a way to say disable Chrome. You can disable the course origin check locally for testing purpose. And I think the answer is quite straightforward. So like you're just adding this disable web security flag to the Chrome executable, and I think there's another answer that mentions for Mac OS. So for Mac OS, you do like this. But anyway, I tried that and it seemed to work. And while that's in the meantime, I did something. I think it's main playground. So in the meantime, I'm trying to add a little bit. Where is the iframe? Here. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm trying to add in a little bit the other thing. And I think these things, like if you say allow cross origin isolated and credentialless, and I think maybe two of those three, or maybe three of them, you add these things and it allows you to embed it the iframe. So it seems to work, right? And let me check. So if we click the link again, so we can see the docs. So and I'm just wondering, so let's try. So I'm wondering if I change this iframe. Where's the iframe? This frame. Here inside. So this iframe. So I'm wondering if I change to google.com to say. No, it doesn't work. But for GitHub, I think it doesn't work either. That's interesting. So what kind of site will work? So I think I tried Vue.js.org. It doesn't work either. And I think that is because where is it? No resource. So should I refresh and do that again? I should open up the network tab, right? Oh, that's a lot of network. All right, so we remove. Okay, anyway, so I just go to the iframe and check the iframe. So what I want to do, maybe at some point we should also like do the view docs as well. It doesn't work. And last time I checked from Vue.js, is this one? Yeah. I think that is because the header has a content security policy. Well, that is only available for a limited allow from. Yeah, I think it's only available for a limited type of domain. So I'm not so sure if I can ask the Vue team to add Nuxt.com to it. Maybe. But I will see. So I think that's for Nuxt.com, it doesn't have it. And what else? So I think maybe it's possible to embed it on my site. Yeah, you can do that. But I'm wondering if like you remove all these things, right? If you remove allow isolated, credentialless. So if you do Nuxt.com, it doesn't work. And if you do, I guess my site is pretty open. Okay, it doesn't work either. So I think those things are required in order to get it to work. But it still has some limitation that the site can choose to be not being embedded even though. So I think by default, with this header, it should work for the site that hasn't been configured this particularly. So I think, for example, like any website, like I don't know, I have no idea. So the org, right? Oh yeah, it doesn't. So I think we can try this. So I think at least it's good. We don't need any changes so it should works by default. So I was thinking that I should document that's how you can disable the course origin on your local, but it turns out I think it's not needed in this case. Oh, what I did? Okay, okay. Here. So I'm just checking it. Oh, it's crashed again. Okay, anyway, I think the good part is it works for local and probably also for the remote. So for the deployed version. So I think that's pretty good. And I'm happy about it. And for I think I don't have a lot of changes since then. Yeah, that's what we did. And PR to fix the typo. We have 2 PR, automated PR, and all right. So I should find some time to improve the content first, so we can move forward. So what do you want to see? I mean, what should we work on? Allow each guide to configure file filter. SEO. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. We could try. So I'm definitely not an expert of SEO, or not even a beginner. So I have a very limited understanding of it. But I think I can count on this thing. So I know this project is Halam. He's one of the Vue team member who is working on this thing, and he has a lot of integration, which is pretty impressive. So okay, the website is pretty fancy as well. So learn more. So sitemap. Nuxt sitemap. How can I verify these things? But I think not. It costs nothing to have it, right? Seems to be pretty straightforward. So you basically have, so we could have local and then SEO, and then we put these things here. And what is that? It's site URL. So that means so currently maybe we could do next is learn dev.nuxt.com, and it restarts and it provides the type. Cool. And it's recommended to always have to avoid duplicate content issue. Okay. Okay, you can set it to be here. Okay, so then that means we could visit the sitemap. Whoa, what's this? Huh. It's pretty interesting. It's also providing a UI. That is nice. Okay. but we don't see any map currently for some reason. Preview your site. Application source. You may want to add your own dynamic source. Content driven, right? Application source are source generated automatically from your app. Those are in place. So this is already possible. And while that we have content driven enabled, right? I think we have content driven enabled. Where's the content? Document driven. Yeah, we have the document driven already enabled. And disabling application source, user source. So dynamic URL for external. Okay. But we don't need, I think we don't need the dynamic one. It should already be provided by Nuxt content. But I wonder why it's not there. So so here at least this is a link, right? And no, I mean, you can go back. What happened? Okay, and we go back. This is a bug, right? It seemed to fail to fetch the content about. The content of the root is not being resolved. Well, here we have the content. It still does nothing. So another thing is like we can try to build it, and we can try to see if the deployed version has that file correctly, and maybe that will be the cause. All right, we have the build. Okay. All right, and then we start a server, which is also 3000. So let's check the 3000's endpoint first. Okay, 3000 works, and then the sitemap. Oh. Okay. That's nice then. So you have this thing. Okay, cool. It just works out of box. Okay, very impressive. And yeah, so we could say, like sitemap is already finished, right? Okay, I like it. I think, I don't know, I kind of feel this should be enabled by default by Nuxt, right? I mean, maybe. I mean, is there any case that you don't want this enabled? Like, maybe for performance, but maybe I don't think this can be a kind of performance issue, and it's also like only build time. So is that only that you have some like hidden routes and you don't want people to know it? Maybe. Anyway, cool. So okay, so I think this is pretty interesting for me now. So basically, what we're going to do is to check like every feature the SEO provides, and we're just trying to enable it. So you basically have robots, simple robots. And what simple robots does? It creates the robot.txt, right? But it doesn't really. Oh, I have a high level module. Oh my god. Okay. Nice. It's like a package that's now I have everything. All right. So basically I don't need the sitemap, and I don't need to explain it because it's explained on the name already. And let me check. So site URL, does it tell me that's how many depend? Start with SEO. Okay, so I would suppose that all these things are included. The SEO kit, right? Maybe it does not really tell me, but let me check. So if no, I should kill the server. Okay, so let me check if the sitemap works, and if the sitemap works, okay, is this local? This is the local host, right? This is the dev server. All right, and then I do sitemap. Okay, it works, but I don't see the information on the right for some reason. Let me double check in the code to see. Okay, this is the only one module. Okay, this is all the module it provides. SEO experiment, link checker. What is link checker? Wait, what? No, the UI is broken. Link checker. Okay. I was expecting some checking links. Okay. About. Oh, it has a DevTool integration. That is amazing. Let me try. So, is that also work for remote? Maybe only for local, right? So let me check. So if I change the content, if I go to here, and now this can be removed, I suppose. So we could go page A, like this. Oh, I guess it doesn't. It might not work very well with the content module, because for the content module, the routes is matching for all, right? So it doesn't tell that it works with content module or not. But I think for a static routes, then that would be cool. Report. Run on build. Cool. I'm a bit confused. Oh, maybe I forgot to save the. Is that I forgot to enable the module? Maybe. If I click it, okay, it does not work. I think this is this Nuxt content is a bug. And so if I do build, and since I have the markdown report, so fill on error. I'm just playing randomly. I would feel this might not works as I expected, for at least for Nuxt content. What if I do SEO? Is that they are on a different repo? Okay, open. Okay, here. Now I find it. Cool. And then I have the source. I have the module. Row batch. Fetch remote URL. Okay. Cool. That's interesting. And add plugin, UI plugin, and Nitron config. So I think it. Okay, I have a runtime config here. So I'm just trying to dig in now. So so I can. Oh. Oh, the service. Okay. So at least there is no error here. So let's check on the development. So I think there's a client-side script that's check if all the link is available. If check all the links is validate. Well, that's it provide the information from the server and put it in the runtime config. So that means if I check this, yeah, here. So I have excluded links 0, skip inspection. Okay. What is exclude link? Is Nuxt content? Is Nuxt content document driven? Yes. So that means it awares of Nuxt content, right? But why the exclude link is 0? Or maybe it's a bug. Interesting. So polyfill and head next. And sorry, I was looking to the wrong file. Excluded link. This is from the configuration. And all right. And how does it check? So you have the Nuxt plugin, while UI define Nuxt So there's a function called setup link. Pure. Whoa. It has a lot of things. Is that it trying to fetch that URL and to see if it returns? Okay. And maybe it's also use view router. Okay, I have no idea now. But okay. Use local storage. Use event listener. So this is the client, right? Scan link, and you got all the links from Nuxt Aref. Passes. Okay. Use routes. Use a route. So you have route. Okay. Cool. So this is open tab 2 to link, which should be only called. No, it's not being called at all. Okay. I think I spent a little bit too much time on it. Here, open DevTool, and then I will search for open DevTools and client open DevTool to link, open DevTool to link. Here, I think it's this main.view. Okay, this is the component, and this is showing expectation. Well, there's expectation is the value which is from a pops. Then it basically means inspections. Yeah, it's a pops passing to here. So inspect, I think here is the main component, and this is passing to here, and then the thing is here. Maybe attach element. Must not pass. So we will have a payload. Okay. All right. I have no idea what is going on, but it seemed to be cool. So maybe later I can try to debug it, and if it's a bug or something, maybe with like a starter Nuxt content app to test it out, and maybe something wrong on my side, I think. But I think this is in general a cool feature, and I'll see. I think that would be useful. I think that would be that should be really useful for us as well in the long term. And okay, sorry for distracted. So I think for both I would expect it to work automatically. Should I do robots dot text? Index is blocked because of this environment. You can mark production. Okay. So mock production environment query. Oh, cool. It also provides sitemaps. Indexable. All right. I have nothing, not much to complain with that. So I think let's try something interesting. So I have known that there's OG image that you can generate an OG image dynamically. All right. It also has a site URL. All right. Example, step please. Yeah, maybe we can try minimum playground example. So you have a defined OG image component and Nuxt SEO, and you're providing some data to it. Okay, you have the component, my template. Okay, where is this Nuxt SEO component coming from? No idea. Open Nuxt Dev Tool. This is a button or not? This is another button. So that means I should open it. Oh, it doesn't. It no longer works in step-based. Why? It doesn't work in step-based. I think this is maybe because my reason changed. That's interesting. You fix this problem, you fix these bugs, and you introduce another bug. So I think this is because I add this. This is iframe, right? This is iframe. So maybe this is a credential list. And how can I trigger it to be initialized again? Like that. Okay. Anyway, I will see how I can fix that. But okay, cool. So you have this thing. Welcome to Nuxt OG image. And if I press 2, oh, this is amazing actually. This is probably not expected. But oh. So okay, so where is the component? The component is here, right? My template with default define pops. Hello world. My template. Oh, so you go to the custom and you have my template. So Nuxt SEO is the default. I think this is the component that's shipped by. Okay. You have style as well. Okay. Is this using Tailwind? No, it's not using Tailwind. So how come this would work? Okay. So you have text, for example, like blue. No, maybe I should remove this thing. I should remove this style. Okay. This is a compiler, right? Oh, so I think I just removed this. Okay, this is now blue. But okay, I don't think this supports this. I think maybe, oh, it does. Really? How is that possible? Let's try that. This is a bit like Uno CSS syntax. Wait. Okay. Now I'm curious. Is that which engine it is? Because what I can tell here, you don't have a tailwind, right? Oh, did it? I I don't think this is a tailwind syntax. This is more like Uno CSS syntax. Is that using Uno CSS? I'm curious, but okay. But anyway, I think this is pretty promising. So you have used SEO meta and OG image component. And view source. Okay, you can click to view source. All right. Oh, so it uses Uno CSS. I didn't know. Cool. Okay, that's pretty nice. So, so I think we have it already on our local, maybe. So I open the dev tool here, and yeah, I think I'm here. I have this. Oh, okay. Oh, it's amazing. You have so many. You also have both. Wow. Okay, this is way better than I imagined. So, so define OG image. Okay, this. So I have OG image, right? And how can I work with the content module? Defined OG image, Nuxt content. Okay. Okay. If you are not using driven mode, okay. That's it? Really? Cool. So I just added it to be here. And so for the components, can I omit it? I'm just wondering that maybe without this component, so I can use my default unhead. Cool. Define component. I think I'm okay with using the okay, this is the default, right? So site logo theme. Change the theme of the template color mode. So so we can, I think we can default to color mode, to dark. And if we don't need image site logo, replace the site logo. So okay. So if I use site logo, and can I use like logos, Nuxt JS, Nuxt icon? That's right. So if I refresh the page, internal server error. Okay. Whoa. Okay, this is fancy indeed. And this is working in progress. Text orange. Read minutes 5. Chromium. Is that a bug? So let's try. So I can try title Nuxt tutorial. And I think reading minutes is not. So should I refresh it? Okay, this should be description, right? Okay, this is really fun to work with. I have to say. Reset. Description. It seems I'm not able to override it. Or maybe, is that actually, I don't think so. So SEO template. Wow, site name description, right? I don't think I didn't type it wrong. Okay. Now it works. No, nothing like that. Refresh. Okay. Now I get rid of that thing. This is cool. And what is this? What this small circle is? Okay, you see this image is being generated. Okay. That's pretty nice. And icon, scene, color mode. I wonder why this is not rounded. I'm not so sure if this is on purpose. Icon. Require Nuxt icon to be installed. Okay. So that means if I install Nuxt icon and I put it here, so it's that is the package JSON name. Okay. Thank you. I didn't know. I thought like how come it can be a Nuxt app? Okay. So I should I have Nuxt? I can have a learn.nuxt.com, right? Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's raised from the package JSON. And to help. Okay. I suppose I should restart the server for it to grab the name from package.json. Okay. I think it's not bad already. What's this? Okay. So does that means if I go to say I have this one, right? It's view intro. So if I go to view intro, and that means it automatically, oh, it doesn't. So is that I supposed to add this as well? So even though I don't add anything, pops. It seems to be like it will cool. So this works. But I'm wondering why it cannot be automatic. Nuxt color module. Okay, it will respect color module. Component option global. Is that I just put it here? So I don't need this, really? So I think it provides already I mean it already providing good defaults and compiler option component can I have a color or default? Okay, you have a default and I have a color mode. Really? Default, what is default? Okay, so the component should be Nuxt SEO, right? And then what else default has? Does it? Okay, it has also default pops. So that means I have a pops and then I can have a color mode, which is dark. Right. And then okay, I can close this. It's still not working. So I'm a bit curious because this pops is like I don't really need to do anything. So I feel this is something that it can be improved on the OG image side. So if I put an empty font formatter here, would that works? No, it doesn't work. But if I put OG image with an object, would that work? Okay, then it works. So that means we should have a way, maybe a configuration to allow this thing to be what I was supposed to say. Yeah. To always generating the OG image. right? I suppose there is a check. If I search for Nuxt content, font compatibility, color parameters, how to add image. So if we check here, so I would expect it. Whoa. Okay, convert OG image key to header data. So that means it's in the Nitron plugin Nuxt content. So it's runtime Nitron plugin Nuxt content. Okay, you see, it only checks when this object present. I mean, it's okay. Okay, so that means the way I could do is to doing like that. So basically, I'm adding all my page with this, right? Yeah, I think it's okay. It's okay to have it because we will have it anyway, right? We'll have the font matters later anyway. So okay. Then we could okay, OG image here. Put it both. All right. Then we can actually call it a day for the OG image to work. So I think we could try to deploy it. And then because it takes some time, so I push it and we can check in a few minutes, and then we can try if the production links would have the OG image enabled. So about the meta tag, so I would actually expect that Nuxt content already provide good meta tags already. So here we have the open graph. Okay, Twitter title, Twitter description. But while that's okay, I think maybe I can remove those three because by default it should infer from the title, and Twitter does not respect titles anyway now. And okay, I think overall it looks fancy. Hello, hi. Okay, so the language, so that's at least do something to improve it. So here, so we have the title templates already, and I think we'll have HTTP. It's in a head, right? It's HTML head. Nope. Where is it? Okay. The type inference is broken. How come? How come this can be any? That's weird. It looks like there's a bug. So maybe in the generated types app.config. No, this is not config. Nuxt app config. I would expect that there's some module override the type of it. Okay, here. SEO experiment, and this overriding with the config schema. And where is the config schema comes from? Okay, I think that would be the course. So if I just remove all these things. It seems to working again. Okay. Okay. Now I have a lang and I have a enus by default. Maybe there's a bug. I need to fix it. Recursive. Yeah, I think maybe like because now it's referencing to here, right? And this is something that should be exposed in the Nuxt schema module, which maybe after some version is being changed, and while that's here, it hasn't been changed yet. So okay, here, and I should add a fav icon. Well, that's you see that we already have the icon here because it's from another app, I think. Do we have a fav icon here? Okay, it's the Nuxt. Okay. So Nuxt fav icon. Do I need to do anything to add this icon? I think here, it's really hard to remember those things. So that means here we have a link, right? Links is any. Oh, I changed the config, and then this got it generated again. No. So so here I'm supposed to have a link, and it should be reference, so referral to be icon and type. Okay, you should add this line, and then we go back to our page. All right. It still says I don't have the language. I think I do now. Okay. Interesting. It already provided me that. I think I did. I don't know why. But if I go to the page source, already have the lang enus, and I think maybe there's some bug. Maybe there are some bugs on DevTools on the presentation. Okay, that's pretty cool. And so that's check for production. So it should be learndev.nuxt.com. Well, let me check. Okay, so it's a build 7 minutes ago, so it should be the latest push. So so OG image check. So we can do here and we'll paste here. Okay, very nice. So you will see there's already a OG image generated for this website. Okay, I like it to be very straightforward. So view intro, it should be view intro, view basic. Okay, that's pretty impressive. And I think later we'll tweak about this. We'll tweak these styles a little bit. Or maybe I'll copy the template from Nuxt.com so we can align it better. But I think overall it's pretty impressive. That's how it just works. So you have a learndev.nuxt.com. So I think I have every tag I needed, right? Otherwise it should want me here. So I think that's pretty nice. That's good. So we can make it a check. So I'm not so sure for RSS. Maybe that's just forgot about it. Would you do RSS with this website? I think maybe you could, but I don't feel it makes sense because the guide here requires to play together with the code editor, and if you do RSS, then you don't have any code editor, and there's like you don't have the context, right? I'm not so sure, but that's considered SEO is being finished, and I would say this module is really good, and I would actually expect that there's quite a lot of work to get this working because there's so many details to care about, and well, that looks like magic. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, the sum is I'll go. Let's take a small break. So I'll go to fix something. All right. I guess you can still hear me, right? Yeah. So man, maybe. So I'm thinking that later I can do the command K system and also a little bit search mixed together. And yeah, maybe we could do it today. So it's just 1 hour, right? And we have 1 hour left. So I think at least we could make some progress on this topic. And yeah, before that, let's chat a little bit. And if you have any feedback, any tips, any thoughts about this project, let me know. And or in general, like how you would expect, like I'm curious that what you want to see about this live streaming after this project, or like to this project is also as well, like if you want to see some features to be implemented, or what kind of the other project that you want to see. So I kind of have a mix of different things. I have a lot of different type of things to work with. So you can see a topic I could think about is to review and to kind of maintain it some project like view use, and we can go through the PRs and provide some feedback and do the release process. Or more interestingly, I guess maybe that's we can create some new project from scratch, like a small library or something. And that would be the small library, that would be a bit like a Node.js side, or like being kind design wise about how you can design a library. Well, that's here in this project. You will see me that's mostly working on the UI part, right? On the front end. So well, that's we will say we are. I'm definitely a front end developer, but when we're talking about front end, then it's actually there's a lot of different field, and I think for now, what we are working on is pretty front end. So we do the styling, we do the UI, and we deal with like how you use view or something. And well, that's the work we do as a kind of library maintainer or tool maintainer is I don't think it should be considered as backend, but we are building tools for the front end. And many of those times is like we don't have any user interface. We're only dealing with the code, and we're dealing with Node.js that runs on the server side, and we're handling the relationship between like each modules, how the node resolve modules, how ESM work or something like that, which is essentially still building tools for the front end. It's still serving those things for the front end, but it's not really using those knowledge from the front end, but more like in for JavaScript in general. Oh, thanks for the donation, SHLM. How do you call that? It's like super. Is that called super chat or something? I don't know how. This is the first time I saw it. So thank you and good afternoon. Would it be considered develops or something? I don't know. I feel it's more like it's still front end, right? It's not building tools for the back end, but while the work itself maybe it's like just tooling in general. But I think that's also like for me it's the reason that I stick with I kind of enjoy working with JavaScript ecosystem is like the tooling and the user language are the same language. So this might not be sounds like for example like to say if you want to how do you say like to say that if you want to build a UI or web page with Python, and that means that the client side you are using JavaScript and the backend is using Python, and also like you may use some Python code to generating some JavaScript. Well, that's you can jump in between two language, or to say if you are developing a new language, which you may use another language to implement it. So to say that if you want to implement a feature in the Python, if you want to help to improve the language itself, you might need to write C, which like Python itself is written in C. So the maintainer, what the language maintainer working on is different than what the language user is going to use. And so for Node part is like you use JavaScript to generate in JavaScript, you use the JavaScript to build tools for JavaScript. So the knowledge will share and the logic will share as well. And well, it creates another concern is like the same piece of code can be run in different environment. So if you see that you can read from file system to read the files from a disk in Node.js, right? But if you ship that JavaScript to the browser, it doesn't work. So such cases is interesting. So that's why kind of we have this organization called OnJS. So we're trying to make universal JavaScript tools that can work in every environment, but it's still very challenging. Like how you can make it composable. That even though sometimes you may want to have some file system thing, you may still need some file system capability, right? So like Vite, like Nuxt, it has to read source file from your desk, and then compile it to be something else, to execute it or something. Well, that's you may also want it to be universal, to say that's how you can run Vite on the browser. Well, that's we have step list to and web container to work on it in another way. But you see that Vite itself is a Node.js tool that cannot be working directly inside the browser. But some library like, for example, like Shikiji, I was working on the Sitemap highlighter. It works for both Node.js and client side in the browser, like automatically without any effort, because we don't rely on the file system API, and we require that people to feed in the code snippet, the code you want to sing. That's where it can be fetched or can be read outside. So yeah, that's something interesting. Yeah, just to talk about. Yeah. What about creating Vite plugins for SharePoint? Currently, Microsoft has only Webpack plugin, which is extremely slow. What is SharePoint? I don't know. SharePoint. It's Office. It's an Office app, right? I'm sorry, I don't know. But if you need it, I would really encourage you to give it a try to see if you can get it working. And since it has already a Webpack plugins, I guess you can learn a little bit like how it can work, or can even copy some code from it, from the implementation. That then you can maybe create a Vite plugin for it. And I would actually really encourage you to do that, because you are the one that need that feature. And it doesn't make sense for me to implement it for you, because I don't use these things. I don't have incentive. But I always think that's the one who face that issue is the one that's the best one who implement that one. And I find myself that's even though that's sometimes you are seeking for some ideas to implement some project, and starting from what you need would be the best, because what you want, what problem you have is probably the other's problem, right? And if you solve these things, and that's the real demand, how to say, that's something that people really want, at least you really want, right? And you get it works, and you make your work done, and then it can benefit the others. And on the other way, it's like if you kind of try and think very hard at what people need, it can be sometimes fail, because what you think people need is not always people need it. It can be a kind of a demand that is in like illusion, or it's like imagination. Well, that is not a real thing. So I think it's build something from your own need is how I get so many projects, I guess. But it sometimes like some projects like only you going to use it, but at least you get it works, and yeah, you got a job done, right? And sharing is not a part, but that would be beneficial if it's open source and people can contribute into it, and you will being benefited back as well. Yeah. native script with Vue 3. Yeah, I know I heard about native script, but I don't develop for native apps anymore, so I'm not super familiar with it. Hoping using other language that go easier with Wasm. Yeah, I think Wasm is really nice, and we already have quite a few things using Wasm underneath to speed things up, and I think in general it's great. And I think it's definitely requires some more efforts in the ecosystem to kind of support Wasm. Like you can import Wasm natively in ESM or something, or making like there are still some languages it's not working well for Wasm, right? Like I think Go is not being able to compile to Wasm efficiently because it has a GC. So that if you compile to Wasm, it's still it will be very big. And but I think Go works. And what language? I don't think Python will work. Will Python compile to Wasm? Oh yeah, for example, like TypeScript doesn't compile to Python, right? There's a like small subset of the a kind of more limited version of TypeScript that can be compiled to Wasm, but because JavaScript is too dynamic, too flexible. Okay, thank you, Joel. And yeah, some web APIs are not available on Node side. Yeah, I think that's, even though they works, like some JavaScript works for both web and Node, and the difference between them is quite a lot. Well, that's, you will see that's Node.js or Dino. They will try to align with the web standard, but in general they are very different type of things. And for example, like it doesn't make sense to have a DOM element in Node.js, right? You cannot render anything, and it doesn't make sense to have a, yeah, I think you have a JS DOM that's I think for mocking and for testing, that would be nice to have it. But yeah, I'm not so sure because must be a lot how to say, misalignment. So there's only a few resources about design system. Looking forward if you plan to cover that, streaming especially to how you get them right. So I'm also interested in design system as well, but I know nothing about it, and I'm not really a designer. So I'm actually, I think I know nothing about design. I'm just building something that's I feel looking better for me, something like that. But I don't think, yeah. So what I'm just trying to say is like I'm probably not the best person to tell you that's what is design system, and because I don't know it either. But maybe I think maybe one thing that can be happen is like I trying to find someone who is expert in this field, and we can do an interview or like with them or kind do a kind, how to say, it just basically we can do a call, and just like last time with Eduardo about Pina, and then I can learn something, and we can share this discussion live or something. Do you think it will be possible to create something like Nuxt but framework agnostic? Because Nuxt has worked with Vue. Basically, Nuxt that works for Vue and Nuxt at the same time. And so I think in general, we love to build something universal or framework agnostic. So because that will help you to reach more wider audience, right? And of course, I think it'll be nice if like Nuxt can also work for React, and then we can have the React community for us. But I think there is a balance between being universal or being specific. So the benefit of being universal is that it can work for more people and it can cover more scenario. And if you do it universal, that probably means that the architecture is better because you kind of make it composable or something. But the downside of being universal is like you losing some capability of providing something specific that can be important to some experience. So if you go to very extreme, you will see that to be very universal, it's just the language itself. The language is the general purpose language, right? So if to say you can see that Vue is a maybe let's take example of Vite. So Vite is a framework agnostic, right? But it's only agnostic on the framework side. It still has a lot of assumption that you generate HTML, you're following the best practice, you use ESM or something. This has to be coupled with the assumption. So I think that you cannot really have Vite that's being agnostic of ESM or CJS, or you can generating files other than HTML. And well, it's still possible, but it will require a lot of work, and there's a lot of assumption that making it very complex. So what I'm going to say is we're trying a lot of effort to make something universal. That's why we created that's why we have AnJS and Nitrom. So Nitrom is a framework agnostic for the server part, and still we need some Vue integration in order to provide the best experience. So if you are interested in a React version of Nuxt, I would highly suggest you to check Daniel Rowe's talk. He built I think he built a React meta framework on top of Nitro during a conference. So if you search for it, I think you can find it, and that's really amazing. And it tells you that what the meta frameworks, what the requirement of meta framework will need it, and how you can do the server-side render, etc. And yeah, it's very insightful. So I would recommend it. So why don't I stream on Twitch? And yeah, I think if I stream on Twitch, then I will have another question. It's like, why don't you stream on YouTube, right? So I think this is just like you have to choose the platform. Like it's just like why I'm using Vue. I think that's maybe later I can do on Twitch, but for now it's like I don't have a wider enough audience, and that's being focusing on this platform. So yeah, I know I can stream on both at the same time, but then the chat or the interaction will be in two different places. So I still prefer to have a single place for now. But later I can do streaming for both. Technically, it's definitely okay. Yeah, technically it's definitely possible, but it's just like for the community part, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry if you prefer Twitch, but please bear with it for now. And if I got a lot, like to say, yeah, I would say that's okay. You just come and subscribe, and if I have enough followers, then I may feel that's okay. I can explore another platform, right? Oh, full screen video with chat. Okay, I didn't know that would be a feature. Okay. Yeah, it should be possible with an extension or kind of even a injected CSS, but I wonder that's why YouTube doesn't have that. Is this repo public or this will always be private? This repo is public. I built every single line of it. Why is not on the I built almost every single line on the live streaming, and even it's not public, you can you can try to look into the streaming and try to type them again, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, good to hear that you enjoying the streaming. Twitch Prime. What's the difference? Is that for a streamer? You need to pay for them. I guess you can still do the stream. I'm not so sure where's the feature, but anyway, I think it's good to have. But yeah, have I ever built stuff with React? And yes, and so I think React has a lot of good, a lot how to say, advantage or benefit or how do I say that? It's like I think for React it has quite a lot of benefit of using React, or like the design has a lot of good stuff, good spots. But I'm not so into the hooking system. I mean the hooks, React hooks is very inspirational, and that's where that Vue composition API got inspiration from. But if you down a little bit deeper, you will see that React hooks is I think the API wise, the usage wise is similar, but the underlying logic is totally different. So and so I kind of struggle with like how you can use effect, or how you can manipulate the DOM or something, or like React's philosophy for me is sometimes a bit hard to understand. So I was once working for a company that's using React exclusively, and how do I say? Yeah, I made a project. So I was struggling using React. So then I made this project called Reactive View. It's basically using Vue composition API in React components. So just a bit like replacing React hooks. But I guess if you're going, I mean, don't use it. I just like an experimental project and it's just for fun purpose. But if you like reactivity system, well, that's you prefer uh, JSX, and this is basic Solid, and Solid will have much better performance on top of it. So I think Solid has a very similar reactivity system close to Vue, and so in Vue is ref, but in Solid is signal, right? And then computed in Solid is just a plain function. So and so yeah, that's something I was approved as I have been working for React, working with React, something like that. So okay, this is already 4 years ago. Oh, time goes really fast. Twitch Prime is a free sub when you have Amazon Prime. Okay, so Twitch is part of Amazon. Really? Okay, I didn't know. Good to know. All right. Let's back to work. Okay, so I think let's do a command K system. So what a command K system is just basically here. It's just like popping up a search panel and you can do some search. So I guess this is coming from Nuxt UI Pro or not. So I think so for this project we are not using Nuxt UI for now, but I'm just wondering, is this coming from the Pro or from the Nuxt UI? You have the Pro. I'm just wondering if I can KBD is a key drop down. I think this seems to be, oh, you have a command palette. Okay, this is from headless UI. Okay. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to implement it ourselves. Loading. Okay. So this seems to be a little bit like groups. Okay. So you have this ID, label, icon, reference, shortcuts. All right. So okay. So I think again, let's check for this for Nuxt DevTool. We also have a command K system, right? It's not command K. It's command K, right? Oh yeah, we have it. So I think we could copy it, maybe. I don't know. But we can build the logic. I think since I have learned to use Pinia, I kind think I like Pinias very a lot now. So that kind isolated into your logic into a multiple functions, and that's really nice. So basically, we can have a command, right? And then I will just copy it. I'll just copy the whole file because I will also need this hot, and I'll just remove all the code here. So we can have use command store. So here I think we could have an interface. What the command would look like. So has delay on first open. Maybe it's because it's. I think it's okay for me. Maybe it's you are still doing the hydration, because I think this definitely requires JavaScript, but I think the animation is a little bit slow. But anyway, And so we can have a command, right? So I'm thinking to have a set. So then I can remove, and I think we can have a reactive set. So command, it can be name, description, handler. Yeah, that will also do. So handler can be optional. And then we can have an icon, which is optional. Description can be optional. And maybe title. So we have a command. So what I want to do is using a hook to say use we can have an add command thing, right? And add commands, it can be multiple, I guess. So it should be an array, and yeah. Commands. Okay. So this has a name complete, so we can have an inputs. All right. And then I can have a do unmounted. And then I'll just remove all these things. So I'm not so sure if we need it for now. So the reason I'm adding this is because there are some components can providing some commands in that context when for example, like if you go to a page and that page has some specific feature, and when you do on command, when you do this, how do I say? It can contributing, it can add some commands to it, but when you go to another page, it should remove that command because there is no longer in the context. So this unmounted, so that means if you return these things, and what you're going to do is in a components you use command store, right? And then you have add command, something like that. And if you do it in a component, you only care about adding them. And when the components get disappeared, when the components get unmounted, it'll be unmounted automatically. So you don't need to remember like when to add this command. So then we need a search ref, which is a string. And maybe it's like we can have a visible. I don't know. But anyway, I think we are not going to use it right now. So here, and then we could have a computed. So fielded command. So what we're going to do is we can use a project called Fuse.js. It's this one, right? So this is how do you call that? Fuzzy search. So it's like you don't need to do a exactly search, but it has some error tolerance. So we basically install this thing. So the less efficient way to do so is to so you do search and you're providing the search string and command. Okay, I think I import the wrong thing. So we could have a fuse actually computed. So so the reason, so I think we could have commands results and commands. Oh, so the reason we have two computed is that because we have two different dependency to check on. So here, the first thing is like we check on this reactivity set. So whenever we change the content of these things, of this set, we create a new fuse instance. And that's when we search. When we change the search string, it will be only recalculate this. So every time you do a search, when you change the search, it doesn't create a new fuse instance. But while if you put it inside these things, and that means this computed will check two reactivity command. It will check two reactivity object, right? So this is a reactivity and this is reactive, and either of them change, it will triggers the whole function to recalculate, which is inefficient because we know this fuse instance is only depends on only one reactivity variable, while here we use fuse.value and search.value, which depends on these two. But whenever we change the search, the fuse is not changed, so this is not being changed, so we can reuse that value. So it's just like finer, it's like granular cache, right? It's like it's more granular. It's like you know that you can control different steps rather than just one function. And one function for JavaScript at the runtime, it doesn't know when to where you want to evaluate reevaluate. It will just evaluate all the things. So I hope I explained it. I'm not so sure if I if I made it clear, or is that confusing? All right, and here we can do when there's no search, when it's not being, how to say, when there's no search string, we don't run the search at all. We just return it as is. And the reason I put it as set because it's easier to remove. Oh, it's not. It's actually Copilot is doing wrong here. So it's easier to remove. I can just pass the object to remove it. While that's if it's in array, you need to search for it and then you need to slice it from the array. So I feel that for something that's well commonly being added or removed, that's the order of them, it doesn't matter. The reason the order doesn't matter is because most of the time we do from the search, and maybe we could have some priority property here, but for now it's fine. And so I think maybe we could have some like a default something, but I think that's for later. That's for a bit like improvement, but the basic feature is more like this. So yeah, and for this command, it's actually possible we extract it. That would be actually easier. So we use these commands and like that, and we copy that thing, and we need to export the search. So here it can be used standalone. So then I think here it should be fine now. Or maybe I think we could have a show. It's shown. And then we do it like here. So we just store it. And in the main playground, maybe on the root page. So we could say add components, add commands, and the command title would be to say that we can go, sorry, title and and we can do a kind of 2. And we could have a 2. So so 2 means that it will be a link. And well, that's if you do a handler, that means it's an action that if you enter it. So here we can basically add a like home to tone. No, it doesn't work. So I need to search for the icon. House. Okay. Okay, now it works. So here, I just put it here. You should adding it into the registry. And we could create a new component, command palette. I always struggle to type the, I guess I have a typo of that. All right, and then we have the commands equal to use commands store, right? And this can be VIF. We can just do VIF, but we can do the transition later. So its command is shown, right? And what we can also do is add event listener. Or you can use event listener, which again, this is from view use, and it will be automatically removed. Yeah, thanks. I'm counting on you to what? To help me fix the repo. So meta key or e dot control key. Typo. Yeah. And e dot key dot equal to k. Yeah. So that's triggering it, and this is only being visible unshown, and then we can have a fixed and inset 0, right? And we can have a little background. So this should be absolute inset 0 as well. And then background, it can be, I don't know, black, and then 50%. And we can have a z index. I remember that we have the token, right? So we can have a command 8. And this is not available here because we haven't defined it. So here, I think we can make it over all these things. Also, we can take 200 maybe. And then we have the panel. So we could do background base, rounded, border base, rounded, and P for 4 maybe. And then we can have a search input, which is v model to the commands dot search. And we don't do the style for now. For commands equal to, yeah, for C in commands commands results. And what we can do is C plus title. And for the, I think it might be better to have a ID. So we need a key, right? And the key we can do the title as the Oh yeah, we can do ID or title. And then we need to add a type for it. So ID is optional. But this can be a course. It's like the title, if two items has the same title. But I think like preferably we should use the ID. But I think I don't want to have it too much. Just keep it simple. And here you can have an icon. So this is the icon. So it's class c.icon. Maybe you could have a fallback. What do we could have? I think I'm just thinking to take a boring dot. Okay, like this. I'm not so sure, but like this. And then we should do, this should be a fixed. Center, justify center. And now this should be minimal, maximum width to be like 300. Maybe it's too much. And then max height to be like 200 or something. I don't know if it works. I think we should do it here. I'm just coding it blind. I would hope it works, but not so sure. So we can do it here like this. And let's check what's the result of me blindly coding. Okay, it's undefined. So add is undefined. So it's this, right? Use. Oh, okay. So I think I should change the name. All right, refreshed. It should work. Okay. So if I press Command K. Oh, you see it works. It's not the best, but it works. And all right. I think this is why does it look like this? Okay, I think here is like I should set a fixed and maybe like that. How come 200 is so high? And then we can have a flicks and gap 2 item center and pending 2. All right. And this is very dark. Oh, I see. This should be, okay. Yeah, this should be the top. So so I do z minus 1 because the whole container, it has z200. Well, that's for this layer. I need it to be behind this main project. So this main panel. So yeah, and maybe we could increase the 75, something like that. And this should be a toggle, right? And if it's shown and escape, and we should close it. So if I press escape now, it's close it. And if I Command K, close it, Command K. Okay, and here this is working now. And so we also need a focus to see which one is selected. And I'm wondering why we have 2 items. Which means we only have 1, right? Unmounted, deleted. So I'm curious if I try to print this out all. Okay. How come it's been called twice? So the easiest way is we put it here. So it should be only once. Nope. Really? How come? The app, I'm sure, is only 1, right? Hydration? Yeah, I think you are right. It might comes from hydration. I just didn't know that Pina also do the hydration. So so what we could do here to fix it, we could mount it here. So we can do unmounted. And unmounted is a hook that's only being called on the client side. All right, now we have only 1. Cool. So Command Palette, right? And I can close it. I can remove it. So here, what I want to do is like when it's a link, I should make it as a link. So that means we should do component. And is if C has 2, it should be Nuxt link. Otherwise, it should be a dev. It might be about button, I think. And Nuxt link, I would need to import it. And you do like component. And then we have assign to 2, and we assign click to unclick. Oh, it should be a handle. And then we should maintain the index selected ref to 0, and then we could have a class to say selected equal to IDX, and the index should be get it from here on the v4, and if it's selected, it should do something else. And so, for example, like maybe you could have a background primary and text black. I think maybe it's too much. So active, and then we can have some rounded and 1. All right. So here we could do when it's shown, when the command is open, we do like here is the, I can do a switch, e.key case escape, yeah, and we do like this, and we return it. And for case like arrow up, okay, it's doing very well. So I think we need to do delta, which would equal to, which is number. So for the delta, is like if I want to moving up, I just do delta -1, and if I do moving down, it's like delta is equal to 1. So that means a selected value plus equal to a delta, and if selected value -1, and if it's below 0, and that's go to the end of the item. And if it's equal, if it's I mean, it's just like boundary when it's go down and it go back to the first. So here, instead of this, I just do move -1 and move 1. So here, also I think we need to do a enter. So for the command, that should be command result with it. And if commands as handler, we'll call the handler. And otherwise, we have the, yeah. And then we have the router, use router, e.prevent, return. So here I should make it a block and return. Let's do break. And so that's here we got the current command. And when you press enter, it'll execute the command. And if it's a 2, which is a link, so we do a push, and then we close the command. We close the palette. So that's it. And I think we can have it like, we can add it more. So we could say view basic just for testing. So for view and intro. Does it has a view? Logo view? No, I remember it has a view. Okay, it doesn't. Page. Top 5. All right, I think we could do file like this. All right, so we can test it. The search is already working now. Cool. And if we do up and down, I can select and I can press enter, which is go to the page, and I do Command K again. Yeah, that's very nice. And then if I click it, it also do, but it doesn't close it yet. So we could have another command. It's like a run command, and we can copy over this logic here. And we do like here. So router need to hoist it to up, and we close it. So basically we do run command here, and we use the selected command, and here we replace these things with the run command, so it will close it. So that means if I do this here and I click home, it'll close and it will navigate. Okay. What is command? Where's the type? Oh, I forgot to export it. All right. So so that's it. So I'm just trying to show you that it's just like I'm trying to build a very basic command palette very fast, and of course there's a lot of things to handle with, but I think the basic is already good. And if we want to styling it a little bit, we could have the input and have a placeholder. Search, and then we can wrap it with another icon. So it'll be search. No, it's not intuitive. Search here. Oh, it's so long. Like this. It can be P4. Maybe it can be. All right, and it can be 2 text large. And then we can do height, which can be 10. I don't know. Yeah, at least we can do a pending. And here remove these things and outline none, further none. Right. And then we can do 4. Right. So that's pretty basic, I think. And of course I feel there's a lot of things I should tweaking it, but basically you got the idea. Yeah, I think I'm kind of drawing the UI in mind, just blindly, because I think I have done such things maybe quite a few times. So yeah, so I think the UI, for most of the UI, just like the pending, if you get the pending alignment right, it will feels good. Otherwise, it will be. I think the most of the weirdness of the UI comes from the misalignment. So if you got the pending right, I think it's good already. At least it's not looking bad. All right. So because I'm a bit hurried, because it's already late already. So uh so I hope you're enjoying that. So we can call it a day. And yeah, I will do a commit. So fit uh a basic command palette. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm also swapping. I'm just like swapping to see what is going on. And all right. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today, and I think I'll see you on next Tuesday. Well, that's I think, to be honest, I think current state, I think the command K is something I would like to do it live. So I just did it, and then I'm thinking that this project should be close to being kind of finished or graduate, and then the rest is like the most of the how do I say, the content side. So which I'm thinking that it takes a lot of times and it's not maybe good for streaming, and so we'll see. So still we'll do the live streaming next Tuesday and Thursday. Well, that's for the next one. I've been thinking. I'll think about it, and I will see if I should continue doing next this playground, or shall we do something else? And I will if I decide the topic, I'll send it on Twitter. I'll let you know, and I will create the the schedule as well. So yeah, I'll let you know, and let's keep in touch, and I will see you next week. Okay, goodbye then.